stones, ramparts, and the secret. Diyarbakir, or Amid, Amida, Dikranegert, Diyarbakir, and Ahmed, along with other well-known names. Since the Hurrian Mitanni period, Diyarbakir has stood tall for 5,000 years, while Babylon and Nineveh to the west, and Ephesus and Phaselis to the east, although the same age, do not exist anymore and are now ancient archaeological ruins. A city which has persevered, bearing traces of 33 nations at the crossroads of history. An old and ancient city uttering a sudden loud cry to the world, "I exist and I am here." A city where you can see the massive Karajada volcano and its scattered stones over the volcanic soil. A city with mosques, churches, madrasas, houses made by the hands of master craftsmen, as well as the beautiful streets and monumental ramparts, all welcoming visitors. Diyarbakir, a hidden mysterious city built on many layers, which unearth secrets the deeper you go. The Diyarbakir ramparts surrounding the city, boasting magnificent views, 5.5 kilometers long, with 82 towers and 4 gates, hosting civilizations for 5,000 years, and now standing proudly as a symbol of coexistence with history. The city constitutes the first center of the city walls, and within the citadel is the Virantepe Hemadek, also known as the Amida Mound, which is referred to as an area of the Old Palace. The government of the Old Town was first established in the citadel and surrounded by ramparts. This occurrence dates back to around 3000 BC. You can enter the citadel by walking or driving under the 800-year-old Artuklu Arch. The citadel houses many historical buildings, such as St. George's Church, a 3rd century church from the first era of Christianity, Hazreti Suleiman Mosque, all the buildings employed through the city's governing authorities over time, and Fuskaya, a terrace overlooking the river and the gardens. Diyarbakir is a symbolic example of an Upper Mesopotamian city built around a castle. The 4 gates opening out in all 4 directions have existed since the 4th century AD, when the city became well known as a square-shaped walled strong city in the Roman Byzantium period. Diyarbakir is an old city that converted to Islam in 639 AD, after being conquered by the armies of Islam commanded by Iyaz bin Ghanem after a 5-month-long siege. Jami Kebir, Ulu Jami, or the Great Mosque, is the largest self-sustaining building in the city, converted from the Mar Thoma Cathedral 1400 years ago. Ulu Jami is the monumental brother of the Umayyad Mosque in Damascus. It is the 5th holy place in the Islamic world. It is the only example where worshipping of 2 separate sects of Islam, the Vizshafi sect and the Hanafi sect, are performed. Ulu Jami, the Great Mosque, is the sanctuary of all periods. It is a structure made up of a set of carved stones and columns on all 4 sides of the courtyard, which were collected from architectural structures from all around the city. In 1932, the French archaeologist Professor Albert Louis Gabriel, who prevented the collapsing of the walls of Diyarbakir, has justifiably named the Diyarbakir ramparts a collection of inscriptions. Inscriptions belonging to Abbasi, Marwanid, Ayyubid, Artukid, Seljuk, Ottoman, Roman, and Byzantine periods are signs of existence of the rampart towers for thousands of years. The inscriptions on the ramparts are the marks of the appraised value of labor. The inscriptions not only include the name of the kings, sultans, or the benefactors who donated money, but also the name of the architect who constructed the building. You can see the most tangible traces of the nations who have ruled the city on the towers of the city walls and on some structures. Dağ Kapı Tower is a true collage. It reveals the different periods with Roman Byzantine traces and Marwanid and Abbasid inscriptions. The periodic marks of all the renovation work it has undergone can be seen on the outer wall of the gate, figures, and inscriptions. Inscription of Emperor Theodorus from the period between 370 and 520 AD, as well as the Abbasi inscription of Amir-ul-Mu'minin, leader of Muslims, Jafar al-Muqtadir Billah, and the Marwani inscription. From Abu Nasr Ahmad bin Marwan are the pieces surrounding the walls. Mardin Gate is the gateway to the east and south. It is the most effective gateway in terms of establishing access to the entire Eastern world. For this reason, Hatun Kastal and Karaçlar Inn, just outside the gate, are intended for the needs of guests coming to the city. However, the tower at the entrance next to this gate and the Keçi Burcu, Goat Tower, Fındık Burcu, Nut Tower, Yedi Kardeş, Seven Siblings Tower, and Ulu Beden, the Great Body Tower, are the towers enhancing the splendor and the power of the Mardin Gate. Urfa Gate represents the glory of the Ottoman Empire. The tall, massive gateway at the center, currently open to traffic and still used, is the gate opened in the city walls when the Ottoman Empire was going to war to the eastern regions, and which was rebuilt for the next war after the Ottoman army entered the city while returning from war. The innermost gate functions only for the people of the city and is called the Su Kapısı, Water Gate, or Yeni Kapı, New Gate. This gate reflects the relationship between the people of the city and the river and the gardens in the Tigris Valley. Ancient Diyarbakir was surrounded by a dense forest covered by many trees. As such, you can see numerous figures of wild or domestic animals on the ramparts or towers. Animal figures are not seen only on the ramparts, but in gateways of the buildings within the ramparts. These figures have been used both to perform an art and show which animals lived at that time. Hewsel Gardens is a message from the ancient times revealing the great flow of the Tigris River, mentioned in holy books as a river that flows like the sea. The Ahmed city was founded on the natural basalt plateau, which was created after the Karaca volcano erupted and lava poured down into the Tigris River due to the natural slope and petrified there. Subsequently, when the water of the Tigris River decreased, there became a distance of approximately 100 meters between the city's foundation area and the river. This area was utilized as an agricultural land due to the natural and rich river earth. Hewsel Gardens were the lungs of the city and met all the fruits and vegetable needs of the city until the 1950s. Then the gardens maintained the function of becoming a more local region, and meeting the seasonal needs of citrus fruits were transported from the Mediterranean region to the city by road. The Hewsel Gardens and the ramparts of Diyarbakir. Two elegant lovers. One is almost like a necklace with its charming appearance, and the other is a lock of hair from the lover.